And terrorism at the southern border, the focus today on Capitol Hill. A House committee holding a hearing on America's immigration crisis and worries that some crossing the border may be coming in with malicious intent. Lawmakers digging into the border policies under the Biden administration. NewsNation's Allie Bradley is live for us along the border in Del Rio, Texas. And Allie, Republicans are focusing on a potential loophole in legislation.
Yeah, hey, Nichole, another day down at the southern border, another hearing focusing on it. This time, the main focus on terrorism, as you mentioned there. And these subcommittee members under the House Homeland Security Committee are pointing the finger directly at the Biden-Harris administration for what they call failed policies, allowing people with terrorist ties to enter into the United States. Take a listen to what one witness had to say at this morning's hearing.
It is the change of policy that has emboldened the terrorists to come to our borders more so than they ever have before. While I was serving in the administration, there was this consolidated effort, not only with action on the ground, but most importantly with policies at the federal level to ensure that we took great steps to close our border and discourage folks from entering illegally.
Now, just yesterday, from mere miles from where I'm standing right now in Eagle Pass, Texas DPS troopers encountered 124 migrants. Now, among this group of migrants was a special interest migrant from Iran, identified as Mousseme Fouladou. She had both an Iranian and a Brazilian passport on her person when she was apprehended. She is now in the hands of intelligence specialists who are interviewing her to see if she is in fact tied to any terrorist organizations. Now, Border Patrol agents, they conduct criminal and national security checks whenever they arrest somebody. This includes cross-referencing names with the terrorist data set from the FBI. So for the current fiscal year so far, Border Patrol has screened 146 people, 46 at ports of entry, 100 between them. The previous fiscal year, that was about 249. Now, important here, Nichole, that some of these systems that we pull these terrorist hits from, they take several days at times to produce one of these flags. Sometimes it can take 3 days. At that time, often those individuals have already been released, sometimes with a notice to appear. So then ICE has to go find them in the interior of the country to remove them at a later date. Nichole.
All right. So, Allie, are we seeing full transparency from the federal government regarding how they do handle those security screenings there at the border?
Well, you'll probably remember when the Biden administration first took over, they had touted that they were going to be the most transparent administration, but that's not necessarily what we were hearing during yesterday's hearing. We actually heard from a former sector chief who was running the show in San Diego. He talked about what he experienced, talked about an uptick in special interest migrants there and what happened under the Biden administration. Take a listen to this.
We had an exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year. These are only the ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests. The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border.
Now, Nichole, it is important to note as well that a lot of these individuals that might get a flag on the terrorist watch list, they might not be terrorists themselves, but they might just have some kind of affiliation or a nexus to a terrorist organization. Nichole.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.